How's it everyone, Grant here, welcome back to another camera comparison video, and today I've got the Pixel 4 XL up against the iPhone 11 Pro in a low light camera test. And so I chose a popular hangout spot because I think that's a realistic situation where you might want to take some photos and videos just hanging out with friends or family. And so I'll test out everything from how the night modes compare on both these phones to the telephoto zoom, as well as the ultra wide angle camera on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now the Pixel 4 XL does not have an ultra wide, so we'll see how those shots come out in low light on the iPhone. And so go ahead and take a look at all these photos and videos from both the front and rear facing cameras, and I'll come back at the end of this and let you know what I think about how both these phones performed. So here's some quick 1080p 30 frames per second video in some low light here. Just to simulate if you were to go out at night, you know, go to a nice restaurant, hang out with your friends, and you want to shoot some quick video. It's at night, but there's enough light, and this is probably what people shoot in. So just to give you a quick sample there. And here's some 1080p 60 frames per second footage from both phones. I can't zoom in or anything because I'm just hand holding these both at the same time. But this should hopefully give you a idea for how this performs here at 60 frames per second with a car passing by right there and a bit of low light. And lastly, here is some 4K 30 frames per second. That's the highest frames rate that the Pixel 4 can go up to, no 60 frames per second. The iPhone can definitely shoot 4K 60, but here's a quick apples to apples comparison between both phones here in a bit of low light. And again, I can't zoom because I'm just hand holding both phones in each hand. But hopefully this gives you a general idea of what the video quality here might look like if you're to go out at night and you want to shoot in 4K. So here's a clip of the front-facing camera on the Google Pixel 4 XL. So this camera can shoot up to 1080p. So this is what it looks like in a bit of low light. I mean, there are lights around me, but this is probably a realistic situation of what you'll probably be shooting in. If you're to take your camera out and want to shoot some video at night, you're probably out in a place like this. It is dark, it's late night, but you're well illuminated. And you just want to take some photos and maybe a little bit of video with you and your friends, family. This is about what you would expect from the front-facing camera on the Pixel 4 XL. And here's some footage from the front-facing camera on the iPhone 11 Pro. This is 1080p, 30 frames per second, just to compare apples to apples with the Pixel 4 XL. Again, same exact place that I shot the Pixel footage in, and so a bit of low light here. But again, a realistic situation I think you'll probably be shooting in. You're not going to be shooting in total darkness, and you'll probably be out and about with friends and family. And if you wanted to take out your phone and shoot some video with the front-facing camera, this is what the iPhone 11 Pro would give you. Okay, and here is the Pixel 4 XL front-facing camera in a bit of a darker situation here. It's definitely pretty dark, but there are some lights, but definitely a darker scenario. So if you want to see what the Pixel 4 XL would perform like in something like this is what you can expect from the front-facing camera on the Pixel 4 XL in a bit more darkness here. And here we have the iPhone 11 Pro in a bit of a darker situation as well. And this is what you can expect from the front-facing camera from the iPhone 11 Pro in some pretty dark conditions and harsh lighting here. So again, quick sample from the front-facing camera on the iPhone 11 Pro in a little bit darker conditions. Okay, so now that you've seen all the photos and videos for yourself, I'll just wrap up this video by letting you know what I thought about how each of these phones performed here. And so starting with the front-facing camera, Apple's really put an emphasis on improving its front-facing cameras on the iPhone 11 Pro models, and it really shows in good lighting conditions, but it really shows that they did not pay attention to low light performance, because in low light, the front-facing camera for both photos and videos just don't look very good. They come out dark, very grainy, and they just don't look good. But let me know if you agree or disagree there. The Pixel 4 XL, I think, definitely performs better from the front-facing camera in low light for both photos and videos. While still not looking great, it is looking a lot better and much more usable than the iPhone 11 Pro. The video and photos are just much more brighter. You've got night mode option on the front-facing camera for the Pixel 4 XL, and you don't have that on the iPhone 11 Pro. The Pixel 4 even outperforms the iPhone 11 Pro front-facing camera when using each respective flash. And so just overall, I thought the photos and videos came out better from the front-facing camera on the Pixel 4. Moving on to the rear-facing camera, let's start out with still photos. I think both Google and Apple take different approaches to how they process photos in low light. And so starting out with Apple, I think they try to give you the brightest photo while still trying to minimize the amount of noise that gets produced in the dark areas. So really trying to give you the best, most balanced overall shot in low light. I also like how you have control over how bright or dark the night mode gets. And I also like how they auto-enable night mode when it detects a low light situation and dials it into the appropriate setting that it thinks will give you the most balanced shot. Now with Google, I think they try to give you the brightest possible photo, even at the risk of introducing too much noise in the dark areas. And both of these approaches result in really some photos looking better on the Google Pixel because it's just brighter and you are able to maintain the amount of noise. Or sometimes it's just better on the iPhone because the Pixel has too much noise and the iPhone is just a better, more balanced overall shot. So for rear-facing photos, I think it goes back and forth. And the main thing here is I think iPhone and Apple have really closed the gap with the Pixel XL in still photos and low light. Before, there's a distinct difference, and I'll prefer more of the Pixel shots than the iPhone, but this time they really go back and forth, and I could use either for still photos and low light. So Apple definitely has closed that gap. And wrapping this up with video performance from the rear-facing cameras and low light, I think both did fairly well. I don't think any smartphone is going to do extremely well in low light, but they both produced usable video, and it's just going to come down to personal preference, I think, on this one. I don't think the Pixel 4 XL did as bad as I thought it was going to do. It produced brighter videos, but that 1080p 60 video looked a little bit washed out for some reason. And overall, it's just going to produce videos that are brighter with a cooler tone versus the iPhone 11 Pro that'll produce a more balanced shot and a warmer tone. So that's just going to come down to your personal preference and what you prefer. Personally, I actually like the warmer tone in low light that the iPhone 11 produces. So that's going to do it for this camera comparison. Let me know in the comments which phone you thought did better. Did you like the Pixel 4 XL or did you prefer the iPhone 11 Pro? Leave a comment and let me know which one you liked and why, and let's continue the discussion there. And as always, thanks for watching.